AskReddit. What is your secret? 1 cup of mini marshmallows in your brownie batter. Also be sure to grease the F out of your pan. Edit. I realize this is a very different thread than I first thought when I commented. I guess my big secret is how much I hate most of my family. I'm still living near all of them and with my parents, so I can't really just separate completely, but they drive me insane. They're also overly critical of everything anyone does that is abnormal to them, and they refuse to accept that people are different. And if any of them knew the real me, they'd hate me to no end. I'm planning on moving out and away from my family. They're really suffocating, and I really want to be independent of everyone, but every time I make a move to do so, something breaks and I'm stuck here even more so than before. There was a commenter in this thread that said her biggest secret was she didn't have any friends because she felt weird. I looked through her post history on my mobile and realized not only did I feel the same way, but she and I had a lot of hobbies in common. I was getting up the nerve to PM her and hopefully strike up a friendship when she delete the comment and I have no way of finding her profile again. I like Tenet. I get strange looks from me people seeing as I'm a heavily tattooed male in his late 20s. What people don't know though is I knit wee hats for newborn babies and donate them to the maternity ward in the hospital. Babies in hats just look so dang cute. That I'm pretty much constantly struggling with anxiety. Some people know I occasionally have anxiety attacks, but no one knows just how bad it really is. Nobody in my family is aware I have made about 6 million from investments in my own businesses. They think I spend too much free time with inner city youth doing charity work for a low paying job. That job is my company. I appreciate your comments and the love from them. At one point I was told that tutoring these kids would not do anything. My family said this, yet all of them have paid it forward with my company. I met people who had dreams and I chose to invest in them. They pay me back with interest and pay it forward in my company for the next one. We look out for each other. I make a point to say hi to small animals like squirrels and birds and help slow moving insects like snails traveling across sidewalks so they don't get stepped on. But only when people won't see me because I'm afraid they'll make fun of me. I'm in my late 30s with a good job, family and mentally sound. I just love these little critters. I'm terrible with budgeting my money. I don't quite understand it. Then I get down into a refid mood and make it worse. I don't know how to get out of this loop. Not my best kept secret, but I'm possibly the fattest person I know. I can see good traits in most anyone, and most disagreements in the day-to-day are truly not worth having. Arguments about a given nerd topic almost always end in accusations of entitlement / rose-colored glasses / be too much, so I don't comment on those. As a result, I can fit in with just about any group. If someone happens to come with me between group changes, they're shocked at the personality shift. Maybe it's due to a lot of traveling when I was a kid, but I'm amazing at fitting in. Some days, it feels very manipulative that none of these people know who I really am, or even if I know who I am. I pretend not to be for my wife's sake, but I'm scared a lot. I work in a dangerous trade, and while I'm used to the danger, it never becomes less scary. I'm scared that one of these days the unthinkable will happen, and she'll be alone. I'm planning on refusing to take over my father's business when he retires. He basically has been expecting me to carry the mantle since I took a business class during freshman year of high school to please him 11 years later, and I still haven't told him. He retires in 4 years, so I'm going to tell him when I visit him during August. Edit. In response to what people are saying, I could never buy and then sell it. It would feel like a betrayal. My father is very kind to me. If I refuse, he'll be devastated. My father's business is successful enough he'll retire ludicrously wealthy. I have enough money from him to live comfortably without having to work. I'm just sad that I'll have to hurt his feelings and betray his expectations. To him, it will likely come from nowhere. He works 80 to 90-hour weeks. I don't have the stomach for that. I have a crush on my personal trainer. I want to ask him out when I stop being his client, but knowing myself, I probably won't. Also, he's probably just being nice to me because he's naturally friendly and I pay him lol. When I was in college I had a sugar daddy. My parents are immigrants and were struggling with bills and a bunch of other stuff. They needed help with money and I needed help with student loans and utility bills. Long story short, I worked at a bar, met this wealthy older man, and he offered to take care of me if I was willing to be his arm candy. Everything was consensual, and he never pressured me to do anything I didn't want to do. It also helped that he was fairly attractive. After I finished with college we parted ways. I make brownies for my students at finals time. They think I'm an awesome baker and it's some secret recipe. It's just Ghirardelli's boxed brownies from Costco. I've been visiting a professional dominatrix for the past 9 months. I won the lottery the day after my 18th birthday. I won't state how much, but I live in a state where you can claim anonymously. I haven't told anyone and haven't made any lifestyle changes. I do have a heck of a retirement fund and investment portfolio. The only reason I bring this up now is people are just starting to put the pieces together. Not sure if I will end up telling my family, but I can't risk word getting out as my sister has a huge mouth. I seem like a nice and calm person. I never speak loud. I never get mad at anyone. I'm always the middle party in every fight. But deep down I'm really angry, like punch a wall angry, and I'm afraid this anger is ever going to come out in an unhealthy way. I can't really explain it well, but essentially, I cannot see at night. Ever since I was little, I remember sitting on the front porch at night and not being able to see anything really. Very vaguely I could tell where trees were, but other than that, everything just goes black to me. I've seen an optometrist too actually, and neither think anything is wrong with my eyes. This being said, I can't drive at night because all I can see are the headlights of cars, which blur together so badly that I'm unable to distinguish where the vehicles are. I haven't told anybody except medical professionals the extent of my night blindness, and if anyone sees this / is concerned, I do not drive at night for my protection and the safety of others. I often contemplate what my life would be like if I divorced my wife. Sometimes she makes me so miserable I want to run for the hills, but other times things are good. I'm starting to not like the ups and downs of our relationship because the downs are starting to outweigh the ups. I find her constantly in a foul mood about anything and everything because she can rarely see the positive side of any situation. But we have 3 kids, and I'd probably get destroyed in family court, so I'll soldier on. After all, this is a secret, right? I took 2 entire minutes to attempt to parallel park last week and I ended up giving up and driving off. There was barely any space, okay, and the cars on either side were hella fancy. My family believes that one day I just woke up, felt bad about all the things I had put them through, and got sober as a result. I have never corrected them. When I was getting F up every night, I was in total and complete denial about the my family was having to deal with because of me. They just never occurred to me. I mean, I now feel really about what I put my family through, but I was genuinely clueless when I was using. The reason I stopped drinking and doing drugs is because I passed out with a tray full of Sean Milap and my best friend's dog got into it and died. I loved that dog. That fed me up so bad that I snapped out of it and got my shit together. My friend and I are the only 2 people who know. People around me think that I have no interest in having relationship with girls or finding partner at all point. In fact, there is a girl I'd like to talk to where I go to run, but I have no courage to do it. Missed my chance today too. One time when I was in 3rd grade, I got one of those Harry Potter books where you can build your own wand. I decided to follow the directions to make it Slytherin material, thinking it would be like an evil wand. As I finished making it, my brother walked into my room and it really pissed me off that he walked in without knocking, and so I put a pretend curse on him with it. No big deal, right? Later that night, my brother was playing outside. He was standing on the top of the slide and out of nowhere, he fell. He broke his arm trying to catch himself, and he had to be taken to the emergency room. So there I was, convinced that the spell I put on him worked, and that I indeed had an evil magic wand. Later that night, when everyone else was asleep, I grabbed a shovel from the garage and dug a hole in our backyard, and buried that wand. To this day I have never looked for it nor told anyone. And that is my secret. When I was a kid I shot a metal dog bowl with a BB gun. It ricocheted into my dad's sliding glass door. Bullet hole, spitter webbed glass. I panicked. I picked up a piece of gravel, rubbed it into the bullet hole, then placed the piece of gravel near the door. I then started up the lawnmower, mowed part of the backyard, and intentionally mowed the grass to short. I told my dad I must have hit a rock while mowing. BB gun didn't get taken away, which was great. But 10 years later I'm an actual landscaper and my dad pays me to cut his grass. My stepmom makes me check for rocks before I mow. There aren't ever any. It's the lie that won't go away. I've never really told anyone this, but when I was a kid my mom used to leave her douches in the shower. When I took my bath/shower, I would fill them up with water and drink out of them, thinking they were like water bottles. As I grew into a woman and learned what douching was, I realized to my horror what I had done. I live in shame now. I'm a girl in my 20s who has never held hands with a boy. Everyone assumes I got experiences because I look good now, but I'm really only starting to take care of myself last year. I once started a gag that I'm colorblind, but I'm really not. I keep telling people now that I'm colorblind, and I have grown accustomed to it. I'm too far in to say that I'm not colorblind, but people don't seem to forget this about me, and I'm afraid of slipping up. It's such a stupid lie too. At least I don't lie on my Tinder profile.